All right, time to jump into the deep end of the creativity pool, right? We're talking Adobe MAX Sneaks, that time of year when we get a glimpse of what crazy cool tools Adobe is dreaming up. It's like a tech treasure chest for creatives. What's got you jazzed up this year, expert speaker?
Oh, there's a lot to unpack in these sneaks, that's for sure. I think what really grabs me is how diverse the innovations are this year. Like, they're really pushing those limits on what we thought software could do for creative work.
Right. Okay, so before we fall down the rabbit hole of AI and animation and everything in between, let's highlight a few that really made you do a double take. The I need this like yesterday kind of stuff.
Two come to mind right off the bat. First one, Project Clean Machine. You know how we've always wanted that magic eraser for photos and videos? This is getting close. Imagine zapping out those unwanted objects instantly.
Yeah.
Even people. No more painstaking masking for hours on end.
Okay, yeah, that's a time saver for sure.
Yeah.
But what makes it mind-blowing?
Well, think about the tech behind it. It's more than just some fancy algorithm, right? This is AI that's starting to understand what's in the image, the context of the video. It can remove stuff, but keep it looking natural, not all weirdly edited. For filmmakers, editors, photographers, anyone working with visuals, that's huge UGE.
So we're saying AI is becoming less of a tool and more like an assistant who can almost read our minds.
You're getting it. And this leads me to the second sneak that blew me away, which is Project in Motion. Now hold on to your hats because this one's a doozy. Picture this. You want to create this super complex animation, right? With Project in Motion, you basically just tell the software what you want to see. You describe the movement, the effects, everything. And the AI, it just makes it happen in After Effects.
Wait, hold up. So I could be like, I need this logo to bounce across the screen like a basketball,
shit.
and it would just do it.
You got it. And the crazy thing is, you've got a ridiculous amount of control. You can tell it what style of animation you want, even show it reference images to get the look just right. You can even fine-tune stuff with your voice. Timing, the movement, the whole shebang. It's like having a whole team of animators at your fingertips.
Okay, yeah, that one just sent me into orbit. These sneaks sound like they could really shake things up, not just for how long things take, but for the whole creative process.
100%, and it just keeps getting wilder as we dig into the other projects. Take Project Perfect Blend, for instance. This one's all about taking composite images to a whole new level of realness.
You mean like when you add someone into a photo, and it actually looks like they were there? Not that awkward, oh, I guess I wasn't supposed to be in the picture vibe.
You nailed it. But this is different. It's light years beyond that. This tech blends advanced masking with AI that generates stuff too, so you don't just seamlessly blend people or objects in, but the background, the lighting, everything matches perfectly.
No more awkwardly explaining why your friend is casting a weird shadow in that group photo. Problem solved.
Precisely. No more Photoshop faux pas. Project Perfect Blend swoops in and handles all the technical stuff so you can actually enjoy the creative side of compositing.
I'm sensing a trend here. Adobe's on a mission to banish those repetitive, boring tasks and unleash our inner creative geniuses.
And speaking of banishing things, remember that magical photobomber eraser we were talking about, Project Clean Machine?
Oh yeah, the one that's music to my ears. Tell me more. So is this kind of like Project Perfect Blend, but instead of adding stuff in, it's like, poof, gone.
Yeah, you could say that. But the really cool part about Project Clean Machine is it shows us where creative software is heading. AI handling those little but super time-consuming jobs that used to drive us crazy. Think of it like your own little helper bot airbrushing tourists out of your vacation pics or making sure that coffee cup didn't make it into your big shot on set.
Okay, I can definitely get on board with that. That's some serious time-saving magic. It's like Adobe just handed us back an extra hour in our day or something.
Exactly. And when you're not bogged down with those tedious tasks, who knows what you can create, right? Speaking of which, remember when we talked about blurring the lines between 2D and 3D? Project Turntable takes that to a whole new level.
Oh yeah, that one's like logos going full-on hologram. Am I right? Sign me up.
Almost. With Project Turntable, your flat 2D designs, especially vector graphics, suddenly gain a whole new dimension. Like literally, you can spin them around, view them from any angle, all while keeping that original visual style intact.
So I could design a logo in Illustrator, and then without even opening up some crazy 3D software, see how it would look on a billboard, a product, all that.
Yeah.
In real time.
Exactly. It's a game changer for branding, for visual identity. Imagine creating a design and knowing it'll look amazing no matter where it ends up. From a website to a coffee mug. Seamless.
This is like having a magic doorway between flat design land and the 3D world. Okay, color me intrigued. What other futuristic goodies are in store for us?
How about this? What if you could generate sound effects as easily as you edit photos?
Okay, yeah, Project Supersonic. Spill the tea on this one. As someone who spends way too much time scrolling through sound libraries, this is speaking my language.
Right. This sneak is like having your own personal Foley artist on speed dial. Imagine creating realistic, customized sound effects just by describing them, with words. Or even cooler, you can just click on objects in your video and boom, sound effects. Want those footsteps to sound extra heavy, echoing through the room? Just tell the software or even point at the feet in your timeline and it gets it done.
Hold on, it gets even cooler. In the demo, they were controlling the timing, the layers, all with their voice. It's like beatboxing for sound design, I swear.
For real. But the mind-blowing part is the quality of those AI-generated sounds. These aren't those cheesy canned effects. They're nuanced, they've got depth. Project Supersonic is about to make high-quality audio production accessible to everyone, not just the pros.
I love that. Adobe's out there playing fairy godmother to storytellers of all kinds. Speaking of stories, we got to talk about project know-how. Content authenticity is huge these days, and this sneak dives right into that.
Absolutely. With all this AI-generated content popping up, knowing where an image or video came from is more important than ever.
So it's like a lie detector test for your visuals.
100%. Project Know-How is all about these content credentials. They're like digital watermarks baked right into your files, and they tell you who made it, what tools they used, if there have been any changes. Makes it way harder to fake authenticity.
So as a photographer, I could attach my info to my work, and anyone who comes across it online knows for sure it's mine, untouched. The real deal.
Exactly. It's all about fighting misinformation and protecting creators in this crazy digital world.
Wow, that's huge. Adobe's stepping up to bring back some trust, some transparency. In this age where seeing is no longer believing, that's pretty powerful stuff.
Couldn't agree more. It really showcases how tech can actually address some of the big challenges we face online.
Okay, before we move on to the final few sneaks, we got to talk about Project Scenic. This one is like stepping into a whole new world of image creation.
You said it, Project Scenic. This is where the line between 2D and 3D gets really, really blurry, but in the best way possible. Imagine building a diorama of your image, but in your computer, right? You arrange objects, you set up the perfect camera angle, all in this 3D space. And then, get this, you click a button, and bam! The AI generates this incredible 2D image based on your scene.
My brain just did a backflip. It's like having a virtual photo studio, but instead of moving furniture around, you're playing with 3D models, letting the AI do the hard work of capturing that money shot.
Exactly. And the level of control is mind-blowing. You can use simple words, like move that chair closer or make the lighting a bit warmer, and it just happens. Plus, they've got this regional prompting thing where you pick a specific part of the scene, like one object, and tweak it without messing up anything else.
Wait, for real? So if I'm like, that vase needs to be a different color, but I don't want to mess with the lighting on the rest of the scene, I can do that.
That's the beauty of it. It's like having laser focus over every single detail.
Project Scenic. I'm telling you, this could revolutionize everything for photographers, for illustrators, anyone who creates visuals. Adobe took all the best parts of working in 2D and 3D, threw them in a blender, and poured out this incredible, powerful, but still intuitive tool.
Couldn't agree more. And speaking of intuitive, let's shift gears to Project Remix a lot. A godsend for anyone who struggles with taking an idea from rough draft to masterpiece.
Oh yeah, that's the one where napkin sketches become design gold. Tell me more. It's like, poof, magic design fairy dust, and your napkin scribble is ready for its debut.
Minus the fairy dust, yeah. It's all about AI, this time trained to turn those rough ideas into something polished. You give it the sketch, but also an inspiration image. A cool font, some artwork, even a photo. The AI picks up the style and applies it, even making sure it works at different sizes, different formats.
So, like, say my napkin sketch, it's actually meant to be a logo for a website. Project Remix a lot ensures that it also looks just as good shrunken down on a business card.
You got it. No more starting from scratch for every single variation. Which designers, they know that pain, but it's bigger than that. This kind of tech, it's putting those high-end design tools, those techniques, in reach of anyone who's got a great idea.
I love how many of these sneaks are about leveling the playing field. Okay, we've got just one sneak left, and this one sounds like it's straight up capturing lightning in a bottle, or should I say inspiration. I'm talking about Project Hi-Fi. Tell me that name doesn't make you think of vintage speakers, though.
It's a good hook, for sure. But yeah, instead of sweet tunes, this is about grabbing those visuals, but like in high definition. Imagine you see a detail, any detail, Texture on a website, a cool pattern in a 3D model, even something you're doodling. Project Hi-Fi lets you grab that, and instantly it's a high-res image ready to use.
Wait, back up. So I'm browsing online. I see like an awesome brick texture. I can literally capture that with Project Hi-Fi, and then boom, it's like starting material for a whole new image in Photoshop.
You get it. It's like having a visual sampler built right into your computer. But here's the kicker. The AI isn't just copying, it's enhancing, adding depth, details, making it look hyper-real.
So we're not talking a blurry screenshot here. This is high quality, editable, ready to become whatever I can dream up.
100%. Mood boards, creating textures, backgrounds, even just messing around with different visual ideas, but in this really hands-on way, it's a game changer.
Okay, we've been on quite the journey here with Adobe MAX Sneaks. Expert speaker, before we let everyone get back to their creative caves, any final thoughts on what we've seen? What's the big takeaway?
I think what gets me, and it's been a thread throughout all these sneaks, is AI is becoming this partner in the creative process. Not just about speed or making things easier, which, don't get me wrong, is great. But this is different. It's like, how do we use AI to boost our own imaginations? How do we use these tools to do things we never even thought were possible? That's the exciting part.
Adobe's out there unlocking creative superpowers, that's for sure. Makes you wonder, what will people make now? What stories will they tell? It's going to be amazing to watch it unfold. Huge thanks to expert speaker for guiding us through this deep dive. And to everyone listening, keep those creative sparks flying. Can't wait to see what you create.